Spider simp, spider simp. Shameik doesn't know how to take a hint. Gets rejected on TV. The ladies say he is so creepy. Look out. Here comes the spider simp. What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet. The brother who told you to not be out here acting like a goofball and simping, but you did it anyway, and now your ass is being viewed as a creep in the public eye. And I am black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So, Shameik Moore. Shameik Moore is an actor who I've had my eye on for some time now. And the reason being is not good. The reason that if he got my attention is usually because he is an actor who has been doing some buck dancing and cooning. So a couple of years ago, I want to say this was either before the pandemic or like right when it started, I did a video about Shameik Moore because he was one of these clowns who, when George Floyd was murdered, and people were, protesting and rioting and whatnot, Shameik Moore came out here and was doing the whole, what about black on black crime nonsense, and was saying idiotic things on his social media by saying that the reason the police kill black people is because of how we act and how we react. And, if black people just act better, they would not be hurt by the police, right? So I made a video about that, and I remember it very well because I remember YouTube took that video down. They said I was being too hard on Shameik. They said I used some derogatory language that could be considered hate speech. So I guess I had to be careful in this video in particular, right? Because he's one of these, or at least he was one of these protected Negroes on social media. Not so much anymore, it seems like, though. And the reason being is because Shameik Moore is now being accused of being a creep and someone who could potentially, or it comes off as potentially harassing women. And the reason it's happening is because of a situation he's had with these two young actresses out here. Now, let me say this about Shameik Moore. So, he's black, but he's not from America. I believe his lineage is Jamaican. So that's the reason he was talking all that black on black crime nonsense. That's stuff that's been fed to him by probably his family and his culture, where, they come here and they cosplay and pretend to be black Americans, but when the time comes or when it's convenient for them, they will openly criticize and attack black Americans, which I find very disrespectful, right? And it's interesting that he would do that, where he would criticize black Americans, but he's always overly praising white people. And that's what he was doing, I guess, when it came to overly praising and simping for, well, first of all, his co-star, this white girl here. What is her name? Haley Steinfeld or Steinfeld. So Shameik Moore is the voice of the black Spider-Man, Miles Morales, in those animated movies. And, Miles Morales had, I guess, a little relationship with Gwen, Spider-Gwen in those movies, who is a white girl. And the white girl that does the voice is Haley Steinfeld. So, when they would go on these press junkets for the movie, Shameik Moore would just be sitting next to this white girl and doing all types of simping. And when his simping, it was that cringy type stuff, like talking about it's easy for him to act and pretend that he loves Gwen when he's sitting here looking at his co-star Haley, right? And talking about how beautiful Haley is. And you can see on this white girl's face that she's kind of cringing and she's kind of doing like that little fake white girl smile where she's, trying to be nice, but not really, she's not feeling him at all. And what made me laugh about this whole situation is when I saw videos like this, it reminded me of a lot of you Negroes out here I see when you guys try to holler at or you try to simp for white females. When you're telling these white females that they're beautiful or whatever, and you think because they have like a smile on their face that they're being reciprocal of your advances when really they're not attracted to you whatsoever, right? They're being nice, but but you take it the wrong way because you're used to when a woman like dealing with a black woman, if you tell her she's beautiful and she doesn't like you're used to her going off on you, and you find that as a negative aspect of black women, like saying like when she disses you or whatever. Truth of the matter is that's actually a lot better for you. It's better if the woman just lets you know right off the bat that she doesn't like you or doesn't have those types of feelings for you, because then you can just move on and go do something else. But a lot of you got hurt by that, and that's why you feel that white females are more appealing because they're quote unquote nicer to you. But they really don't like you either. They don't find you attractive either, but they're gonna smile and just like take the compliment and move on. And then you wonder why they're not, calling you back later or whatever, right? Or they're not, being reciprocal when it comes to your relationship advances. But, when I saw Shameik doing that, that's what it reminded me of. And it was very cringy and very disturbing seeing the way that he was going at this white girl. But that was only part of it. That's what people have been kind of pulling out there because of another incident that he got himself into, where I guess he was at a party with this other actress. I think she's a mulatto. Her name is Laura Harrier. She was in that first MCU Spider-Man movie where I think she played the character Liz or whatever. And she was doing like she was at the party with Shameik Moore and they took a picture together, and then he posted that on his social media and basically made it seem as if they were together, right? Or they were dating. And in Hollywood, I guess a lot of the actors who have played a Spider-Man, they usually wind up dating their co-stars. So I guess he thought that he was going to get in with one of them. If he couldn't get this white girl, he was going to get the mulatto girl. And apparently that did not work out for him. Because then Laura Harrier came out on her social media. She said she told him to take it down. She sent him several messages telling him to take that video down. And when he didn't do it, she just went out there and called him a weirdo. And said, I'm getting married. I have a fiance. And I don't appreciate what you're doing. So not only with the white girl, who's also the girl Haley, she's also getting married to an NFL star, and Shameik Moore was acting like he was sad and hurt about that on his social media. So now Shameik Moore is being viewed as a goofy simp and a creep, and a lot of people are criticizing him for that. And he wound up having to take down some of his social media and just kind of hide out for a little bit. But he's at a point right now where he's got to either dial it back or he's going to wind up basically ruining his career. Because doing these Spider-Man movies, that's a big deal, right? But it wouldn't be nothing for them to replace him with another voice actor. You see what I'm saying? So he better be careful what he's doing. And I know a lot of you guys recognize him. He's been in movies like that movie Dope. He was in that show The Get Down, where he played Shaolin Fantastic, the DJ. He was also in the Wu-Tang series. He plays Raekwon, right? So a lot of you might recognize him from those TV shows. But, I mean, I've never liked this fool because, once again, his buck dancing and buffooning I thought was extremely disrespectful, especially coming from someone who's not from here. Not originally, anyway. His lineage is not from here. But he wants to disrespect black people and make excuses for when white supremacy murders black people, right? But now you're being viewed as a creep by pop culture, basically, right? And you're at a point where you can potentially lose your job. So, this happens all the time. And like I said, when I made the post about this on my Facebook, I said my memory is long, right? I always keep it in the back of my mind. If you're a black celebrity out here and you're being disrespectful to black people, I'm always going to put you on blast later on when white supremacy comes for your ass or when your ass gets in trouble. I'm always going to make sure to bring that up. So you were out here cooning and buffooning it up when the revolution was going on, basically showing yourself as a traitor. But once again, I mean, like I said, if he's from a culture that's not from here, he either doesn't understand or he just automatically has a mentality that is anti-black American, right? So for him, it's probably not that big of a deal. He probably doesn't see himself as a traitor. But now you've gotten into a situation where you've gotten your ass in trouble and people view you in a different light because you're an older man, an older black man. He's in his 30s now, his early 30s. And you got these girls out here basically calling you a creep and looking at you like you're some goofy creep that keeps bothering them. And once again, a lot of young black men, I've seen this with you. Well, even when I was in school, when I was in college and when I was in high school, I saw a lot of black males like simping over white girls like this. And it was the exact same reaction from the white girls. Just because they smile at you, a lot of you think that means they actually like you, but a lot of them don't, right? Especially when they're young because they have options at that point. So, and their option and their preference is for a white male. But, a lot of you don't get that. But, I mean, you folks can let me know how you feel about this whole situation of the simping Spider-Man and the nonsense that he's been up to, right? And let me know how you all feel about it in the comments section. I would love to hear your opinions on this. Anyway, this is Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot on the devil's back.